on Saturday. I think the direct quote was,
Mike.
you'd love to have some data. Oh, I'm sorry. You said you'd love to have some data with a low number of turnovers. And tonight you had 9. And the result of that, points off turnovers, the difference was 10 for you, plus 10. You win the game by 10. It's pretty simple, isn't it? This is the data you wanted, right?
Well, then we only out-rebound them by 1.
Right.
So my point was, and Notre Dame out-rebounds us. If you can out-rebound your opponent and then have fewer turnovers, you're going to win the game. We've had, I don't know how many games in the 8 years that I've been the head coach, we've only had 1 loss when we've done that. It speaks for itself how important those 2 categories are. But we gave ourselves a better chance. We just got to do a better job of thinking the game. Especially there at the end, we were able to knock down some free throws, but we had a turnover, we had a quick shot. That were just elementary mistakes. We got to do a better job of securing a lead and playing the right way.
Did you get the sense AJ's defensive presence really impacted the game?
Well, AJ's got to do a better job of just simply stopping the ball, whether those are drives or in ball screen action. Sometimes he gets too deep, and then he turns his body. If he just will stop the ball and stay square and just get big, he's a mountain of a man. But he turns his body when people come towards him. It's a bad habit that he has, and I think you're not going to get those calls because you're turning, you're twisting, you're at an angle instead of being straight up. I thought he did a good job tonight about a handful of times of just coming over and being big, and that really helped us. When he stays on his feet and doesn't reach and plays with his feet, you would think, why are you 7 foot and 270 and reaching? But he has a bad habit of doing that also. Just trying to get him to be simple in some different scenarios on the defensive end, and when he does that, most guys aren't going to score over.
Coach, you've been waiting for Sandy or Travis or Jacob or somebody to step up and kind of be a productive regular force. Jacob tonight really hit the boards well. Talk about what you saw from him tonight.
Well, I thought he gave us some energy. He did a good job at rebounding the basketball. He had a couple blocks. And that's what we need for him. He's an energy guy, and he needs to be that way at all times. I think he's been up and down, but I think you could say our team's been up and down. And that's what, when you guys question what guy plays or what guy doesn't play or who starts or whatever, that's the situation with an inconsistent team. I've always said coaching is a coach waiting for the players to tell him what to do. And when you're inconsistent, it's hard as a coach to figure it out because you like everybody, but who plays well together? Like tonight, you would say, hey, you did a good job of starting that group. Well, they played well together. You did a poor job of subbing with the next group. But yet, a couple guys in that next group were really good in Notre Dame. And so do you have the wrong group in there? Do you have, it's a hard thing to do. Like tonight, I thought Rayfield Davis needed to play more. He had a couple breakdowns, but he needs to play more. He deserves to play more. But with certain guys that I do play, it's a hard thing to do, and that's what I have to get figured out. But I know this, no matter who we play, we have to make good decisions. We have to be consistent, and we have to have that type of effort like Jacob had tonight. And it's, whether it's coaching or playing, your expectation level is always your best game. Somebody, that looks at us and say, why don't you win the Big Ten? Why don't you go to the Sweet 16? Well, that's the best we've done so far. Obviously, we'd like to do better. And that's the way it is. You feel that way too as a coach. But as a player, what Jacob Lawson did tonight, he can do every night. Sometimes you can't make 7 threes a night if you're a shooter. But he can do what he did tonight every single night, and hopefully this motivates him.